I'm joined by Sourabh Gupta. He's the Senior Asia-Pacific International Relations Policy Specialist at the Institute for China-American Studies. Sourabh, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
We just heard from President Trump, where he said China's economy is in a weaker position and therefore China is more eager to make a deal with the U.S. To what extent do you agree with his assessment?
No, I don't agree with that assessment that somebody is in a weaker position, someone's in a stronger position. Simply, yes, the Chinese economy is having a certain downturn, but the U.S. stock market and the U.S. economic outlook also has dampened to a certain extent. What I see happening is the two sides having turned a new leaf in sometime about late October, and they have been in very serious and positive discussions on this subject. So yes, we have external situations creeping in and creeping out, but I don't think it's really to do with the economic background that is driving the situation as such.
But let's talk about the leverages for both leaders. Let's talk about China first. The Chinese economy is slowing down if you look at the manufacturing index for its manufacturers, its industries. Yes. Also, the job report is mediocre at best. How would the Chinese domestic pressure impact the trade talks with Washington?
Well, the economic pressure, yes, that does have an impact on China's positions and stances and how it wants to take the trade negotiations forward. It obviously doesn't, if the economy is softening, which it is, it doesn't need additional problems and additional pressure on top of that because it complicates decision-making processes. And also to make strong structural reform at a time when the economy is not doing well can have also a further contractionary effect on the economy. But again, I'll get back to the point that I was getting at. What the Chinese leaders are more concerned about is not the near-term economic prospects per se, as much as the longer-term prospects of the US and China getting disentangled from high technology, commerce, and trade. China does require that bond with US technology players so that it can grow and develop itself and move up the value chain. And if that connection which the Chinese leaders hope to maintain between their economic sector and the American economic sector somehow gets splintered, that can hurt China's long-term growth prospects.
Let's talk about Washington. President Trump, the White House, currently faces the Mueller investigation. And on top of that, the latest shutdown negotiations with House Democrats. Yes. How would that impact President Trump's positions to make a deal with China?
I think it can impact both ways. Now, most people tend to hold the view that if President Trump is under greater pressure at home, he will lash out abroad so as to cover for his misdeeds at home. I am actually not in that school of thinking. My view is that President Trump wants to have wins. He wants to show that he has had achievements. And this is an area where a lot of administrations that I'm talking US-China relations, a lot of administrations over the past decade have not been able to realize successful outcomes in US-China, in the hard structural issues in US-China economic and trade relations. And here is an opportune moment. And Trump can go back and say, you know what others fail to do, I can do. And I think this could actually, the pressure and the tensions at home could be a driver for him to actually have successful outcomes internationally, including in these trade talks.
Mr. Sourabh Gupta, thank you so much for your insight.
Thank you.